What we're seeing down here is it seems like there's more movement to put pressure on ranching, whether it become forest leases, wolves, grizzly bears, American Prairie Reserve, those kinds of things coming in and out of us. And so for me, when I came up here, I wanted to try and focus not necessarily on open spaces, but ag spaces.
Ready, set, showtime. Welcome to the Montana Majority Report. Quick, transparent, and informative. Get the inside scoop on policies, people, and decisions shaping our state, all in less time than it takes to pour your morning coffee. Stay tuned. Montana starts right here.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tony Tezak from Senate District 35. We're here with the Senate Majority Report. I'm here with Representative Ed Byrne. We're going to talk a little bit about ranching. And the importance of it is what it is to our communities in the state of Montana. Ed, it's good to be here with you.
Well, thank you, Tony. Always a pleasure, Mr. Senator. And
so probably one of the most important reasons I came up to Helena was for agriculture, ranching, farming, and agriculture. So I'm sure you're probably seeing up there, what we're seeing down here is it seems like there's more movement to put pressure on ranching, whether it become forest leases, wolves, grizzly bears, American Prairie Reserve, those kinds of things coming in and out of us. And so for me, when I came up here, I wanted to try and focus not necessarily on open spaces, but ag spaces. And like what we see in the town of Bozeman, everybody, I'm sure you probably will agree with that. In the town of Bozeman, we're seeing houses taking up ag land. Well, there's a move by a lot of people coming together that are pushing for open spaces where I want to see open spaces with agriculture.
well, absolutely. And up in the Flathead, it's even worse. We're seeing pressure with all the tourism that's also in the Gallatin and down in the Southwest. But we're seeing the subdivisions buying out the farmland, and we're seeing outrageous behavior on the road. So I brought two bills this session, one to provide the agriculture vehicles and the husbandry implements on the highways and roads, limited liability, a light version of limited liability, and then also my most current one, 739, that just went through the Senate, and that is to have vehicles that approach agriculture vehicles, do not treat them like a bicycle and blow by them. They have to slow down behind the ag vehicle until there's a passing lane, or to the agriculture vehicle comes to the tractor, the combine, swather, what have you, till they can pull over. And likewise, oncoming traffic now will have to slow down half the speed limit. So if it's 70, they have to slow down to 35, and then give the right-of-way to the agriculture vehicles. We are seeing people win the lottery, and not through a lottery ticket, but by hitting a slow-moving vehicle, i.e. an ag vehicle. We have 3 ranchers, 2 farmers and a rancher in the Flathead being sued right now for doing everything right with the triangle, with the lights, with the turn signal, been hit by motorists, and then they sue. Are they going to win? Not necessarily, but it takes years through the courts, and this is to protect our agriculture vehicles across the state on the highways. So
no, great bills. So where are we at on those? I mean, have we seen them all in the Senate then?
You've seen 212 and 739 in transportation. 739 is out, ready for the floor, and 212 is still. They tabled it till they can hear more. Only a couple senators were there for the hearing, and they have many questions. So once we answer that, hopefully transportation will get that one moving too.
No, good. You've had a lot better luck with your bills than I have with mine. One of ours was to release these wilderness study areas.
Right.
So a lot of people are saying, when you look back at the years over the past history of multi-use and where we've come from multi-use from when you and I were growing up, we've lost a lot of multi-use areas. Just in our backyard in the tobacco roots, we used to be able to leave. We'd go up there and we'd travel up there. There was roads we could go on. There was, developed logging roads. I mean, I don't know what the percentage is, but a big percentage of those have been closed and cut down. And so when we sit down at the table and we're trying to work these things out and say, hey, we need to release these study areas so we can manage them, so we can take care of them and do a better job with them, we get pushed back from the environmental groups and the wildlife groups to say, well, we need to bring more of this in. My argument is, personally, is that we've already given up so much, we really can't afford to give up any more. And so that's a big concern for me, because a lot of A lot of forest leases in the Centennial Valley for us. We got wolves, we got the grizzlies. No matter how we try and combat that or try and regulate that, we just keep getting so much pushback. It seems like we keep losing every time we turn around.
Well, at least you have elk. Region 1, we have no elk. No one's seen. Very rare do you ever see a moose. And it's not just the wolves, which we have the vast majority in the state of, that were introduced, you remember, off of Idaho and the Panhandle, and those are what's up there. And we have 75, 80% of the wolves in Montana, more than what you're getting out of Yellowstone in 303 and the other districts right there north of the park. But we have the grizzlies, we have the black bears that are horrendous on elk calves, we have the forest that is unmanaged, and the elk cannot move in those trees anymore. The deer can't get in there. So we are having a real problem with hunting. You're seeing all of the 7 license plates from the Flathead down in Dillon, down at Melrose, out on the Missouri Breaks. We have no place to really hunt elk now.
Yeah.
So
I can't. When you say it's worse up there for you, I can't imagine, because I know how bad it is down there with us coming right off the park. I mean, it's that bad. When people were coming in on the Wilderness Study Area release bill, talking about those sort of things, right now the only way we've got to manage our wilderness is going to be fire.
Yep.
And that's not a matter of if that's going to happen. It's a matter of when that's going to happen. And we've got to get a handle on this. It was discouraging for me, because right now we're in a good spot with the Trump administration, with our caucus that's back there. This is a good time to deal with this and get this back into control of local people and get the handle on it.
But we're going to have to bring back logging. And that means bring back mills. That means grow more foresters, sawyers, logging truck operators, the clippers. The infrastructure is gone. When I grew up, western Montana, you go up from Missoula, the Sealy Swan, down River Valley, the Flathead, you had the teepee burners, you had the mills, you had Horner Waldorf in Missoula that became Stone Container for the pulp, you had the Bonner plywood mills, you had them all over the Flathead, you had families out in the woods that would mill a trailer load of 2x4s or 2x6s a day. Father, son, wife, the kids, they take it in, sell it the next day, and be right back out to get another load. None of that exists now. We are down to, I believe it's 6 or 7 mills in the state. Until we get the infrastructure back, the only answer will be to burn. And getting back to elk, the late hunts down in Gardner back in the day.
Yep.
It filled thousands and thousands of freezers. Between November and February, when the elk herd was 16, 17, 18,000, you were taking 3,000, 4,000 out of it, and that was going to Montana freezers. We don't have that anymore. And that's, once again, the wolves. Down there, it's specifically the wolves and the reintroduction.
Yep. Well, you can see it's too bad that people can't see, these environmentalists and these groups can't see the way logging forests have been managed on private property. When you go to those areas where there's cows grazing them, where they're thinning the forest, the foliage is much better, the health of the forest, and like you said, the wildlife, the elk and all that stuff, it's a better place because it's being managed, and it's too bad that they just can't see that, what's progressing on that.
Well, it took 80 years to get mining out of Montana, for the most part, the vast majority of it. It took from 1982 about 25 years to wreck the forest industry by lowering the tolerance of how many millions of board feet were being harvested. And now we're seeing the pressure away from agriculture as well. So we're losing the big. There's no wonder why property taxes are growing up and income tax. I just paid my property tax, my income tax the other day, filed it. For the first time since I can remember, I had to pay state property tax, state income tax.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm hearing it from my constituents every day. We had $200 last year. It's $1,400 this year on us. What's going on in Helena? So the taxation pieces, we don't have the industrial, the logging, the mining, and the ag that we used to have.
Well, I think it's probably been maybe the last 40, 50, 60 years. Montana was almost the number one producing revenue state for money in the nation. And today, we must be 48? I mean, it's terrible where it's gone to. And yeah, it just keeps getting worse. I got an interesting fact for you that I'm sure you didn't know this, but did you know that a grizzly bear won't cross a developed logging road?
Really?
Yeah, that's what they tell us now. That was the last thing that we heard, that a grizzly bear won't cross a developed logging road. That's just the stuff we keep fighting with all the time. But no, we've got to change it, and it's good. It's a good thing we're up here trying to change it because we got to fix it.
I had one gentleman in FWP say, what happened to the elk in the Flathead? They migrated east 500 miles to eastern Montana. I've never seen an elk move that far, but God bless them for trying.
No, you got to love it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ed.
All right. Enjoy.
Thanks, Ed.